Hey everybody, it's Dina Rico with the Creativity Cave. I'm really excited to be sharing this card with you, and I'm going to try a different version of it while we stamp, so hopefully it'll turn out. You just never know what's going to happen when you watch a Creativity Cave video. So I really like the concept of this card, and let me bring it a little closer so you can see. What I'm actually going to do is emboss this with an embossing folder and then watercolor it. So I am using the Love and Affection embossing folders. These are actually a 2-pack. So there's the bigger flowers here, and then there's the kind of spray or whatever you want to call this here. So I embossed this on some watercolor cardstock, and all of the dimensions of all my layers and all my supplies and whatnot will be on my blog. So click the link in this video. It will bring you there and you can see everything that I used. I'm going to add a couple of colors. So this card I did for a color challenge for the Stamp Ink Paper design team that I'm on. And I like the colors. I mean, I'm really not a huge purple person, but what I struggled with is that this was kind of like purple and gray and that was it. As you know, I enjoy colors on a little brighter scale. So what I thought I would do is incorporate those base colors. So we have Smoky Slate, Wisteria Wonder, and Elegant Eggplant. But then I thought I'd kick it up just a notch or so and add in a couple more. And I think that really might kind of brighten up and excite the project a little. So we'll see. I don't know. Hopefully this turns out. If not, we'll stick with my original card. Okay, so what I'm going to do is start with inking up my lid. So I just squeeze the ink pad to the lid of my card, and you can see I get all kinds of ink in there. And then I'm going to take my aqua painter. Whenever I watercolor, I always have a little towel. This is actually a burp rag from when my kids were little, and it works great for this. So what I'm going to do is kind of create a background with some soft sky. It's going to be subtle. It's not going to be real dark, because what I want is to really get just a light background. And I think that kind of helps pop up the rest of the images. Now, the nice thing about using watercolor paper is that it can handle all this color and water. And like you see, I got a little extra there. We can easily cover that up, and actually you can see I can remove that excess color by just brushing over with with water. Okay, so I'm just going to spread this color around a little bit, making sure that I get all the areas covered, including the in between the design areas. And I want to make sure that it's not real streaky, so that I'm kind of blending the colors in. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. You just don't want the color to dry with a big severe line. You just want it to look like a subtle background. And there again, this you could just never do on regular cardstock, because it would be pilling up and not cooperating, and the color would be blotchy and all kinds of stuff. In fact, it's funny, I did a card for one of my online classes last week, and I thought, oh, I wonder if I can get this on white, because I really wanted the stark white background, because watercolor paper is just a little bit on the off-white side, and I tried it and it looked terrible. I mean, like, bad. Okay. So I think I have a pretty good background here. Now the next part, and I just want to kind of look, that's a little dark right there, so I'm going to swoosh it out. That looks good. I like it. I think this is going to be good. We'll see. Okay, now of course you can putz with this as long as you want, or just move on. But I don't have any big blotches of white, which is what I was hoping for, and I don't have any big dark blotches of color. Now I do have a little lint, so I'm going to try and get rid of that. There we go. Okay, now you can see I've got my background kind of covered, and you know, it's subtle. It's not a lot there, but I think it really will do a lot to punch up my card, and we'll compare at the end, and you can be the judge. Now I'm going to do the same basic concept as I did on this card. I'm going to do the flowers in Wisteria Wonder and the leaves in, oh, actually the leaves I'm going to do in Pear Pizzazz, and then I'll do my dots in, maybe I'll do my dots in gray. Well, let's just see how things go, because you just never know. Okay, so I want to be a little bit careful here to keep the color on my flowers only and not get it, you know, on the in-between parts or on other parts. And that's pretty easy to do with the embossing because it sort of shows you exactly what you're going to work on. And I need to get a little more water flowing through my, there we go, aqua painter here. It was drying out. And you know, if you haven't worked with an aqua painter, they are so awesome. Oh my gosh. It is really, you know, this coloring phase. That's what aqua painters are for coloring. And everybody's got their adult coloring books. But oh my gosh, you don't need a coloring book. You can just make cards, and at the end you'll have pretty cards instead of just a book that you can't do anything with. I love that. So if you want to get some adult coloring in, just stamp some images and get an aqua painter. You already have ink pads, so just use that. Okay, so as you can see, I'm getting all of these places on here colored in, and as usual, whenever I do anything on camera, it takes forever. I mean, I think I can do it faster if I'm not filming. So as I squeezed my watercolor or my aqua painter a minute ago to get it wet, I think I kind of opened the floodgates. So I feel like water's still coming out in a little more than I'm hoping for. So that's another reason why I love having this little burp rag from my kids to use to kind of control that. I can wipe it off. If I had, you know, my standard background paper, it would just, you know, it would fill up with splotchy water all over, and then it, you know, it would be a mess. Okay, there, we're done. Now the next thing, oh, I see I missed a flower on the other side. The next thing that I want to do is color in the leaves. And so again, I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz for this. So I squeezed the ink to the lid, and I'm going to pick up that color. And here's where I think this is going to make it look better than my original, is because I had done the leaves in Smoky Slate. And I think Smoky Slate is a weird color for leaves. That's just my own personal opinion. You don't really see that in nature too often, but I had to incorporate the color somehow. And purple leaves were pretty weird, you know, too. But then again, I don't always go with the conventional colors of nature when I'm stamping. But I like this. I still giggle over this card I made this spring, and it was with this set Helping Me Grow, and I was so proud of myself because I thought I had lilacs. And then this lady said, "Oh, by the way, that's not a lilac, that is a hyacinth." And I was like, oh my gosh, she's right. And I was kind of embarrassed. And I think the only reason that I was embarrassed is because I actually hold a degree in biology. And I mean, let's be honest, that is embarrassing. I'm kind of giggling because my daughter is going to have, I think this year she has biology for her science class, and she's like, "Mom, I'm so excited because I have a teacher in my house that can help me with my projects." And I'm thinking, Oh dear Lord, I have not been a high school biology teacher in like 15 years, and what if I can't remember anything? And oh my gosh, where are my old textbooks from college? And wah! So you know, sometimes you just have to be a little spazzy. Okay, I like how this turned out. I am going to do the Elegant Eggplant. You can see this is a much richer card or color, so I will pick up a little bit of that. I'm going to do that for the little dots, and you can see that is a really dark color compared to the rest, but I do like it. Now, one thing that's important to remember is, and I didn't totally do this just kind of for the sake of the video time, is that you really want to make sure that the last area you did was dry before you do the next area. So for instance, I should have let the background dry just a touch more before I moved on to the flowers and the leaves, just so that the color does not blend or run. And so you just want to be careful of that. Now I'm again not doing like the best job, to be honest. I stand when I shoot my videos, and I think if I was sitting I would stick my tongue out because I wouldn't be talking, and I would also kind of have my head down a little closer to where I was working, you know, concentrating real hard, and I think that would make a difference, to be honest with you. But I do like the look of this. It's so pretty. Okay, so last but not least, to finish this up, I just think I'm going to hit this with my heat gun to make sure it's really dry, because I'm going to stamp thank you. I'm going to stamp thank you in the center, and I think it would be bad if the thank you ran because the ink was still wet in the middle. Don't you agree? Yeah. Sorry, I'll do it right with my Minnesotan accent. Don't you agree? Okay. My kids keep telling me I need to say things right whenever I pull out my accent. I think that's kind of hysterical. Okay, now the last thing that I'm going to tell you is that this is kind of driving me nuts. I have a little splotch of Wisteria Wonder right here, and I could remove that by simply going over it with clear water and then maybe adding back a little bit of soft sky ink to kind of fill that in. Okay, because see, doesn't that look better now that it's gone? That's the beauty of watercolor paper, is you can erase mistakes. And I think in stamping, if you can erase your mistakes, there is nothing better, because half of stamping to me has always been getting rid of the mistakes you make, or knowing how to. Okay, so to finish this up, I will adhere this to some Elegant Eggplant cardstock, and then I will attach it to a card base of Wisteria Wonder. Then this printed paper is from the cute A Little Foxy DSP, which coordinates with the Foxy Friends stamp set and Builder Punch, which is just so adorable. I had a project with a skunk that I made out of it on my blog last week, which was really fun. Now I'm going to pop this layer up, and to finish it off, I'm going to add some pearls. And you know, I really haven't put Wink of Stella on a card in like 24 hours, so I think it's probably, I mean, I'm overdue. So let me finish that up with that. And I hope you know that I often add all kinds of interesting things to the very last minute or two of my videos. So if you don't wait till the end, you really should, because you just never know what might happen. So I'm going over all of the flowers with Wink of Stella, and I think that's just going to add a nice little extra something something to this project. So I hope you like it. You'll have to tell me which one you like the best in the comments of this video or on my blog, because I would love to hear from you. I always love your comments. Never enjoyed comments as much as I did last week when I made my aw crap card, but you guys are so awesome to me, so thank you. I appreciate that. All right, so I'm just going to add some pearls, and I'll put I'll just put some bigger, well, these are the medium-sized pearls on here. And I just think this adds such a nice touch. Thank you from all of us. This would be a special thank you card. I mean, I think, you wouldn't give this to just anybody. It took a little time to make that, and I pulled my pearl off without the adhesive. So let me show you how to fix that, because have you ever done that? Sorry, I bumped my camera too. To do that, what I'm going to do is stick the pearl back down. You can usually see the adhesive, and then push it off, kind of making sure the adhesive is catching, which it did in this case, and then place it on your card. Now, I know I have this gift for being able to do this with my fingernails, and not everybody can, but generally you just push that pearl off with your snips or whatever, and then place it where you'd like and use your finger to hold it down. Isn't that pretty? Hope you liked it. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you check out my blog for all the details. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye.